Wait till you guys hear this. Okay, so this queue is Haunted Mansion queue. Hi! I don't know where the back of the queue is. Where are they gonna go? You guys, I had wondered how they were gonna grow this queue into Magnolia Park on those busy days. This is absolutely bonkers. Disney thinks this is the busiest 2 weeks of the year and that they don't need magic keys in the parks. Are they right? Join us as we take a complete tour around the entire park, every land and every attraction, and where we'll answer that very question, and there is an answer. This is our State of Disneyland Report. This is Fresh Baked. Big smile on my face is because even though the date is December 23rd, which puts us smack dab in the middle of our 2-week blackout period for all Magic Keys, in spite of that fact, I'm still here on this Monday morning at Disneyland. I'm very happy to be here presenting to you this State of Disneyland Report. They can't keep me down. They're gonna say, hey, we don't want you Magic Keys in here for 2 weeks. That's fine with me, I guess. Yeah, I have made it to the park on this Monday. We actually have some credit with GetAwayToday. I was able to get myself a 3-day park hopper for this 2-week stretch. So we will be making a couple visits to the park during this period. Is he Goofy down there? Where is he? Where'd he go? There he is. I'm stoked, guys. I'm stoked. Hey, let's just get this day started, the State of Disneyland Report started, by doing a little vibe check down Main Street. I'll tell you what, no matter what we find in there today, I'm gonna have a good time doing it. I feel good today. I feel good. I feel happy. This is the last day of the holiday season for me in the parks. Obviously, it's the 23rd. By the way, yes, it is Monday the 23rd. It is 12:54 as we record this. It is a lovely 67 degrees out. But the next time I'm back in Disneyland, it'll be after the Christmas holiday. It'll still have the decorations up. Those will be up till the 4th at least as well, I think. But it'll be the last day you feel that Christmas spirit here in the parks. I'm ready for that. Now, before we get that vibe check, just prepare yourselves mentally for this, because as a local and as a Magic Key holder, sometimes this is hard for me, and I'm sure there's lots of other Magic Keys like me who have the same difficulty. It is going to be hard to wrap our heads around this, but every human in your frame right now, well, 99% of the humans in your frame right now, the Disney-loving spirits that are traveling down Main Street, every single one of these people paid full price to get into this park. $206 to be here on Main Street today. There is a small percentage of guests who got signed in by a cast member or had some other means of getting here, club members maybe, or somebody like me who uses their earned credit at GetAwayToday to buy a 3-day park hopper. I did pay my way in today. I wasn't out of pocket, but the $480 that I spent on this 3-day park hopper that I was credited is $480 I could have spent on a trip to Magic Kingdom or someplace else, a cruise, Aulani, whatever. I could have used that money on this, but I chose to use it here at Disneyland so that I could bring to you the State of Disneyland Report. You can look at this. There are 4 vehicles in my frame right now. Horseless carriage, fire engine, horse-drawn streetcar, and the omnibus. All 4 vehicles are in my frame right now. I don't think I've ever seen that before in my life. Welcome to Disneyland. On a Magic Key blockout day. 2 days away. Christmas is 2 days away.
The fire engine has been here since 1958, and Yellow has actually been here since 1958.
Now, was that what you were expecting on Main Street today? I don't know, man. The very first time this is our 3rd year now where we've had to deal with this. And the first time we did this back in 2022, I was shocked shocked at how packed it was. How many people were here on a day where there's not a single magic key. I'm gonna have more to say about that later because it's a very fascinating conversation. But for now, I want to get back up to the Main Street station and check out the reservation calendar, which is the story in and of itself. And we'll start as usual with the single day ticket calendar, where the first observation we're gonna make is for the next, 13, 14 days, the next 2 weeks from now, December 23rd, until January, Saturday the 4th, every single day will be $206 per Disney. They're gonna charge you full price, $206, and they're gonna keep those magic keys out of here during that stretch. This is the single most popular 2-week stretch in all of Disneyland's, in the entire year, entire calendar year. This 2 weeks that we're in right now is the most popular, the most high in demand period. Disney is so confident in your ability or desire to buy a ticket for this day, which we're gonna find out how true that is here in a little bit, that they even went so far as to say magic keys are not allowed in. Magic keys went in, you gotta pay your way in, like I did. So that's our beginning. We are in Tier 6, $206. Obviously, all the days are available still, but interestingly enough, as we noted in our last State of Disneyland Report, the 25th, Wednesday, and now they've added New Year's Eve. Those 2 days are DCA starts only. Disneyland is as full as they want it to be. We're gonna find out. Although I gotta say, just spoiler alert, I do think they're more right than we want them to be. But that's the single day ticket calendar. Let's see, January is, I didn't even look at February. February's wide open. We're not even gonna look at February. Let's get into the Magic Key calendar, where obviously the Inspire Key is blocked out for the entire rest of this month, as is all Magic Keys. So we'll jump into February, or I'm sorry, I keep doing that. We'll jump into January, where we are blocked out until the 3rd, and then Saturday the 4th is open. It's a DCA start only, but it is kind of surprising because everybody's coming back. There are some sold out dates. The Sunday the 5th and Monday the 6th are sold out. Are those blocked out on Enchant? No, they're not. There are no blockouts. The blockouts for the lower keys are on Saturdays only, 11, 18, and 25th. That's interesting. Okay, so the 5th and 6th are sold out. Can't get in, although I think this calendar, actually January, looked pretty brutal. 10 days ago, when we were going through that whole thing with Friday the 13th and all that, and the 20th, we were trying to, it was very difficult to get a reservation. The January calendar looked a lot more bleak than this. They've actually opened up quite a few more dates to the point where January doesn't look too bad. And then, by the way, let's go back. I'm really interested to see, let's go back at the prices. Look at the January calendar, the price index. And so we said that, the 206 until Saturday, January 4th, and then it drops immediately down to 142 on the 6th and 126 on the 7th, back up again for the weekend, and then that following, the 13th, January 13th, I can't wait to be here that day, because that's now we're in the lowest possible tier. I forget what color that is. Is that green? Recode green that day? $104. So we're a few weeks away from that. Let's see, it's not this one. Is that going to be a DCA, or is that going to be Disneyland? I'm not sure. But I'm really looking forward to seeing how this park looks on that day and the 2 weeks after that, at the end of January. That's the calendar. That actually doesn't look as bad as I was expecting it to look. Let's get back to work. Let's get into the park. Let's find out. Let's see how serious Disney fans are about being here on a day where there's no Magic Keys available. Yeah, nothing could bring me down right now. No matter how much I look at the reservation calendar or think about the fact that I paid my way into the park today or anything else, I am so happy to be here right now on this day. It's just wonderful. It's a perfect day. The weather's been delightful. I've already shot one video today. Look at the queue to get a churro right now. It is 12:58 to get a churro. Look at that. Yeah, I shot a rope drop video trying to work in Tiana's. Very interesting result that we got today. I hope you guys have the opportunity to check that out if you haven't already. I'm not sure where it lands in the schedule, if it's going to have already been out or waiting till Thursday. It's going to be one of those. But seeing all these people in this park right now is just making me very, very happy. I love this moment. Makes me so happy. I don't know why. Well, there's just some weird quality in me that wants it to be busy, that likes to see both the park be busy and people choosing Disneyland and choosing to be in the moment and enjoying this wonderful thing that's been created for us. How does that, what I don't get sometimes is how people aren't more drawn to it, you know?
Love your videos.
Thanks guys. Yeah man, it's perfection. Let's get to work. We got stuff to do. We gotta do our usual routine. We gotta go to Adventureland and check out some attractions. I am just in too good a mood to pass up walking by the tiki bar right now and not get a Dole Whip float. I'm gonna enjoy this real quick and then we're gonna get to work. Cheers, Fresh Baked. All right, we got the hard part done. Still got a little bit to go here. We'll take that with us on the road and into Adventureland, hopefully. There we go.
Everything matched up according to this last schedule.
And what are you seeing right now? What are you picking up, Fresh Baked? Because what I'm picking up is the same kind of day we have normally, without Magic Keys. This is just a regular, busy day at Disneyland, except all these folks paid $206 to get in here. People ask, how do people do that? How do people justify spending $206? Well, the answer is, not everybody does. Lots of people say no. All Disney needs is enough people to say yes, and they get to keep doing this. And there are still, obviously, plenty of people who are willing to say yes. Let's check out the Jungle Cruise and I'll show you what I'm talking about. And what you're seeing is a 40-minute standby. Full on the left, full on the right. We've been through here many trips where it's not been full on the right. And there's been, nothing but open dates for Magic Keys to get in here. Meanwhile, next door, Indiana Jones, 70-minute standby right now. 70 minutes at 1:11 p.m. It's really sticky right here in Adventureland right now. Gonna try to negotiate my way through these crowds. My goodness. Oh my gosh, you guys, seriously. This is legit crazy. They're into the Jungle Cruise queue for Indiana Jones. That's the back of standby right there. I don't even have to go back there. I'm going to, but I don't have to because if they're out here, then we know what the rear queue looks like. And as expected, dense as heck. Wow. It's a full house. Go or no go, Fresh Bake. I mean, here's the thing. It is what it is. In a lot of cases, the go, no go question is, does the queue match the posted wait time? Posted wait time said it was packed. That queue looks packed. It's what the go, no question now is, are you down? You know what I mean? Like, that's it. There's no discussion about, it's probably a little high or a little low. It's just, are you up for 70 minutes? If so, that's a go. Because that thing's dense in there. Whew. Man, look at this place already. At 1:12 in the afternoon, man. We're in for it, I think. I mean, I've said that before, and I found out the story changed as you go on. But right now, I'd say we're in for it. But it helps when you've got half a cup full of pineapple juice and melted Dole Whip in your left hand. That's really helping. All right, well, Pirates doesn't look bad. There you go. Assuming it's open, but it's not. I can see they're running ops out here in front of Pirates to make sure people don't get in. Yeah, Pirates is closed. Didn't make it, or for now anyway. Yeah, that is an X attraction. And if I didn't mention it at the top of the show, that is our quest today. Our quest today is to answer that question. Disney says this is the most popular, busiest time of the year, this 2-week stretch, the most in-demand, highest everything. So much so that they can afford to not let in Magic Keys and sell just single-day tickets. And we're going to find out how right they are. But so far, Disney, you ain't wrong. I'll say that. So far. I mean, how about the Mark Twain? Before we even turn around and continue into New Orleans Square, that's a pretty full Mark Twain right there. No audio though. I don't hear the audio. Oh, but I do see Tiana. Hi, Tiana. Hi. Me too. Me too. Love you. Oh, look at that. Magic. Pirates just popped open. Posted 10 minutes right now. I ain't gonna last. But yeah, now's the time. You ever want to rope drop pirates after a breakdown? This is what it looks like. Cool. Well, we're gonna get further into New Orleans Square. 1:20 in the afternoon. Hi.
How are you?
Good. Hi, guys. As we make our way to Tiana's Palace, this should be busy in there. I was actually in the neighborhood a little earlier, and the line was out the door. And it looks like, are they? Yeah, it looks like they are queuing guests here out the door. I can't go in. Let's go around this side. Jambalaya Jazz Band. Look at this scene. How delightful. Oh my God, I'm dying. Yeah, that is a full house inside of Tiana's. Yeah, there's the rest of that queue that was out the door a minute ago. Still, 10 minutes probably to get your standby right here. Wow. Wait till you guys hear this. Okay, so this queue is Haunted Mansion queue. Hi! This queue is Haunted Mansion queue. What they're doing, and I never would have thought about this in 100 years. The back, I don't know where the back of the queue is. Where are they gonna go? This, so you start, okay, I'm so confused.
It's like the middle.
You're in the middle? Oh, okay. I thought maybe you were gonna go in that way still. This is the conservatory. They're gonna go in there. Oh, I see what they've done. They've just lengthened it. So the guests who just came into the conservatory, they're gonna go out here, they're gonna outside the gate, they're gonna make a left into Magnolia Park, they're gonna do a switch back there, then they're gonna go back in. So these guests are not, I thought this is the back of the queue, this is the middle. But still, that's insane. You guys, I had wondered how they were gonna grow this queue into Magnolia Park on those busy days. This is absolutely bonkers. This is a product of Lightning Lane, right? So I thought, okay, how are they gonna, if the back of the standby comes out the gate, you don't want that. You can't have the back of the standby queue come out here. You can't. So you have to find some other way to grow into Magnolia Park because you can't do it now. You can't send them. You can't stand by this way. It won't work. It defeats the whole purpose of what you've done over here. And all of that is just for a 60-minute queue. And there's actually, the Lightning Lane isn't even that deep. This is just pure standby. It was explained to me that the standby queue here, everything that you see, including the new stuff, could hold 75 minutes worth of standby guests.
This big?
75. How's it going? Unless they took it down, that is an incredible lot of people just for standby. There's nobody in Lightning Lane right now. That's the craziest thing, man. They built this. They redid the queue back there. They built this queue out here. They did all that so that they didn't have to send guests into Magnolia Park and into the fountain area. And then look where we are. there's only so many people you can fit in there, I guess. That's how popular the Haunted Mansion is. And this is something that I was thinking about when I was shooting the rope drop video this morning. I'm thinking, okay, it is typical, it is normal for Haunted Mansion Holiday to be busier than regular Haunted Mansion. And maybe not because it's better, but because it's during a time of year, Halloween and Christmas, when the parks are generally more full. But I thought, what's gonna happen when Haunted Mansion reopens in January for the first time in more than a year? You guys, seriously, we have not seen regular classic Haunted Mansion since August of 2022? No, 23? It'll be 25. I don't know. It's been a long time, and I'm wondering how much of that pent up demand will there be for a classic Haunted Mansion? I have to figure it's going to be a lot. Will they break the theme like they are now? They have escaped the full width of the proper Haunted Mansion queue right now. Kind of incredible. On a day when there are no magic keys in the park, except for little old me. I'm really surprised though, you guys. Maybe it's because it already costs $206 and people aren't willing to put in another $30 for Lightning Lane, so people aren't buying Lightning Lane today. Maybe, I don't know. Although I feel like there's the whole in for a penny, in for a pound. Once you're in at 206, what's the difference between 206 and 240? But I'm just surprised by how there are days when it's just wall-to-wall guests in here in Lightning Lane. Just the whole thing is full. It's crazy. Now, I'm not sure if you caught our updates on social media, on Twitter and Instagram, but right next door, the controversial Madame Leota Somewhere Beyond gift shop. Controversial because it looks like a tough shed that you can buy at Home Depot, which isn't that far off. It's open. You guys want to go look around? There it is. Madame Leota Somewhere Beyond. Never seen me. Guess we did a little bit for Instagram and Twitter the other day, or you saw that the other day hopefully, but I'll give you guys a quick tour. One of the things that they are explaining right now is that lamp that's in your frame right now is an attraction used lamp. It's a real lamp that was used in the seance room in the Haunted Mansion a while back. It's been in storage and for a while, and they brought it out for this as well as the crystal ball right there. Although Leota doesn't appear here, it's just a projection inside, but that's actually from the mansion as well. But I really dig the decor in here. I think it looks great. It's definitely leaning into the seance room Madame Leota vibe. Folks have said, well, how come it doesn't look, I want it to be more Haunted Mansion. Well, if you're in the story, Madame Leota doesn't live in the mansion. She's not a resident, nor would her shop be in the mansion. Her shop should be in the Bayou Saloon. And actually, Madame Leota isn't, she's a third party. She's doing a seance for the owners of the mansion, trying to conjure spirits, but she doesn't live there. She's not a resident of the Haunted Mansion. So I don't think that her shop should have a Haunted Mansion. That would mean she has just one client. One client. That's the Haunted Mansion. That's Master Gracie. No, it makes perfect sense that it would be Bayou themed and seance and gypsy themed as opposed to Haunted Mansion themed. It shouldn't be Haunted Mansion themed. Tarot cards in the back. There's a Ouija board displayed here. It looks like they're going to do some sort of reading there. And if you want to get your story read, you actually would go through that door for your palmistry reading and fortunes revealed. There is some Haunted Mansion representation in here. That's the bride. Obviously, that's the attic scene. And there's Madame Leota from the seance room, and then you've got the singing bus. These are all figurines that you can buy, which I dig. What you're hearing are the musical instruments that you hear or see in the seance room. Drum set, horn over there. They're everywhere. Violin. I saw a harpsichord, I think. Yeah. There we go. So I gotta say I'm happy with that. I have not been thrilled. I've been low-key not a fan of the building itself. I keep waiting for it to look better, and it's just not. You know, you may or may not have noticed we did a video. I put out a video talking about the kit quality of the thing. I took it down. I wasn't happy with it. But I mean, it is still a problem. It is still a thing. But at least they got the inside right, which is consistent with what we've seen at the Briar Patch with Ray's Berets. That's a great looking gift shop inside there. And then the update that they did to Pooh Corner for Lewis's Critter Club, even better. That's like my favorite gift shop now. I love Lewis's Critter Club. That looks nice in there. I hope people enjoy it, and I hope that they keep up with the Haunted Mansion and Leota specific merchandise that's available in there right now, and not the generic Haunted Mansion merch. Let them get that over there at Royal Street, assuming that gift shop stays there, which is a question, obviously. I've always assumed they built that gift shop so they could do something else with that space next to the Royal Street veranda. So we'll see. We're here in Bayou Country to check out Tiana's, and it doesn't look good. Actually, I see that is a closed Tiana's Bayou Adventure. That's at least the second one today. It was having a pretty good day, even in spite of the closing. We rode earlier this morning, and things were running pretty smoothly at around 9, 10 a.m. Oh, there you go. That's the first clue, the first cue that the attraction is getting ready to reopen is the ride ops. You hear the ride ops, that's them testing things, and then they start sending boats through the track. You could look here to see if there's boats being launched, or you could check out there in the front to see if there's any boats in the water at the drop. You see boats in the water, that's a real good sign. You're 10 or 15 minutes away probably. And then when you hear the music come on, that's your third cue that things are going to start happening. But Tiana's is going through it still. We did a video, second day that it was open, we did a video. We were here for, 5 or 6 hours at least, just trying to get into the queue. Broke down a bunch of times, like 3 times that day. Out for an hour or more. It failed to open the first couple hours of the park. It was wreaking havoc on standby to the point where it was like 80, 90 minutes, and you're just spending an excruciating time in the standby queue. And I had a lot of comments. People were like, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. We went over there on Tiana's. It was 10 minutes. It was great. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, that does happen. And I'm not trying to say that every time you come to Tiana's, you're going to be faced with the situation I faced. That was also on the extreme end. But make no mistake, Tiana's breaks down. And when it breaks down, it's gonna do terrible things to standby, because every time the attraction breaks down, it creates more and more demand for standby, and it creates more and more demand for Lightning Lane, and that's what creates the. Oh, thank you guys. That's what creates the super long standby lines. Is when this thing reopens, which we might stick around and see what happens when Tiana's reopens. Watch what happens to Lightning Lane. And all those lightning, they're gonna show up. They're like, man, I got this Lightning Lane. I got to use it. I got this MEP. Whatever. I got to cash this in. I don't want it to go to waste. So they get in there as soon as they can to make sure they get in before it breaks down again, because it's gonna.
They already left
and so you get this mad rush, and all those guests have to get the priority. So if you're a standby guest, pay attention to what's happening at breakdowns, and you might be able to get in there. But if you wait, I'd say 30, 40 minutes after this thing reopens, and those standby guests are in big trouble. Well, I'll try to hold out here for a little bit to see if I can find any boats in the water. It's been about 15, 20 minutes, still no boats in the water. So we're gonna keep going about our day. There's Winnie the Pooh's, the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh. And this is the one attraction so far that is doing its normal business. Actually less than normal. Back at the queues right here. You'd think you'd get a little more spillover. Just idle thoughts with people wanting to kill time, hoping that they can stay in the neighborhood for the reopening. Okay, well, let's go to the many adventures of the Winnie the Pooh, or maybe they go next door to the Haunted Mansion, or get some food at Hungry Bear or something like that, and stand by, which, by the way, is a very valid strategy. If you could find a way to arrive here at, in the middle of a breakdown, and to linger for a good 30-40 minutes. The breakdowns usually take about an hour 15 to cycle to get back around on a full, when they do a full e-stop breakdown kind of situation, not a micro breakdown where people stay in the queue. Those take about an hour 15, maybe hour and a half. And if you could find a way to sort of linger around here, get some lunch, like I said, do something in the neighborhood, you might catch yourself a nice break on standby. As for us, we did make our way up to the Hungry Bear to check in on standby. My gosh. So it's 1:52 and there's still a very healthy set of guests waiting. It's not all the way down the ramp like we've seen in the past, but that's still a lot of people. That's still 30-40 minutes to get your food here at the Hungry Bear. In spite of that queue, it's still one of the best experiences you're going to have dining at the Disneyland Resort here at the Hungry Bear. Just use mobile order. Skip that standby. Get yourself some mobile order. Get the phone, get the app, and use it. You can't escape it.
Oh my God!
Hi! Can't stay analog forever, Fresh Baked. I'm an analog guy, but you can't stay analog forever. Eventually, you're going to have to join the digital revolution. You always count on the Davy Crockett canoes to bring your chill levels way down, right? Any discounts back here in Galaxy's Edge? I am reminded of this morning when we rope dropped. 5 attractions were closed when we checked the tip board at 8:11.
Hey, Fresh Bake.
Hey, how are you? That included Rise of the Resistance and Tiana's. Tough start for the park today. And I'm looking at this queue right now, and that's looking absolutely positively not open. I don't see a single guest anywhere. This looks to be a closed attraction, just like Tiana's. Oh boy, man, they are just having a hard time of it. Haunted Mansion went down while I was in the queue this morning. Big Thunder didn't open. Runaway Railway didn't open. Tiana's has been down at least twice today. And yeah, it looks like Rise of the Resistance is awaiting and orders from the Resistance. Nothing happening back here. So we've got a situation here at Disneyland where, you know, I was just super excited. Last week, I was super excited about the fact that every single attraction was open. No closed attractions, including Big Thunder and all that. I mean, there's stuff that's going to be in the pipe in January. It's going to be closing for a little while. The Disneyland Railroad, Small World's going to be closed for a stretch. But right now, everything is operating. But I can't maintain that enthusiasm and that positivity because things keep breaking down as if they're, I don't know. I feel like they're part of it is that we are, as a group, Disney fans, certainly more aware of things that are happening in the parks these days because of social media. We are far more sensitive to situations like this occurring. I don't think in the world of 10 years ago that we would have been as on top of whether or not an attraction was open or closed or status of things breaking down more or less often. Like, who can really say? The data isn't there. We don't have the data to know that. So I do think there's something to that we're just simply more present. You know, we're more aware of what's happening than we ever have been. And that's created more of a spotlight, and that creates more urgency. It creates more, you know, like if you came to the park once a year and you came here and there's 4 attractions down, I mean, would that be a thing? Would you be like shaking your fist? I don't know. But that brings us to Marketplace, and I guess we're gonna go stop at Docking Bay 7 and take a look at the tip board. Smells good over here, I'll say that. My goodness. And now we find out just how busy it is elsewhere around the park. So far, I'm saying we're halfway basically, and I feel like Disney's definitely made the right call here. And I want to say, I kind of think, I remember thinking that last year too. But anyway, we're on the tip board right now. Allison went 40 minutes. There you go, 40 minutes. Last 2 weeks ago, I was slamming the table like, there's no way. How could we be this slow? 40 minutes today. Astro Orbiter, 30 minutes. Topia, 30 minutes.
We love your content, David.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you.
Love your content.
Thank you.
Touch base.
Let's see. Big Thunder, 50 minutes. Return time at 4:45. That's 2.5 hours. Buzz Lightyear, 40 minutes. Return time an hour and 10 minutes. Casey Jr. 10. Gadgets, 45. I mean, it's not like it's bonkers, and I wasn't expecting it to be bonkers, but certainly it should be, if anything, about the same amount of busy as 2 weeks ago, right? But no, man. Dumbo, 30 minutes. Nemo, last week we saw 10. 2 weeks ago. I always do that. Haunted Mansion is up to 60. Return time in 6 hours. 80 minutes for Indiana Jones. And they're almost sold out. It's at 8, or it's 10:50. That's 8.5 hours from now. You get yourself an Indiana Jones Lightning Lane right now, and you gotta wait till park closing practically to use it. Smart World, 30 minutes. That'll double when the sun goes down. Jungle Cruise, 40. That's both sides up top. You guys remember, you saw it, both sides. Winnie the Pooh closed since we walked by there. That's funny. Matterhorn, 70. 70 minutes. 5 hours from now for return time. Runaway Railway, 50. Smuggler's Run, 75. Macaroons, 75 minutes and a 2.5 hour, 2:45 return time. Toads is 30. I want to do a standby test, but I don't know, man. What attraction can I possibly do that on without being here until midnight? I joke, of course, but Pirates is at 60. Roger Rabbit, 55. 2.5 hour return time. Snow White is 30. Space is 75. Every single thing down the line, just all the way, is at levels that we haven't seen in months. Star Tours, 35 minutes. Rise of Resistance is still closed. We just passed by there. Storybook Land, 15. Tiana's is closed still. That's a shame. There you go. That's everything. And with that, we have arrived out here in the common area in front of Smuggler's Run to find a crowd, a horde of guests that is commensurate with that posted wait time of 75 minutes. Some of them here to see Chewie, but otherwise they are milling about. There's a lot of loitering, perhaps guests waiting to use their lightning lane. Now is the time. If you've got a lightning lane for Smuggler's Run, now's the time so you can skip that 75 minutes. I've done studies in the past where I stood here and watched guests here fill into the queue to see how many of them are going left to lightning lane and how many are going right to standby. Right now, everybody in frame, fix that frame, is going left into the queue. I'm very curious to see what that lightning lane queue looks like. You see all those guests right there on that along the wall? Let's see how long I can keep this thing going. 3 guests going only left and not right. And then we'll get in the right and go look at that queue. Now it looks bad right here. It looks like those guys want to be standby, but they're not. They're all now adjusting to the left. Oh, there we go. There you go. There's one. They snuck in. That's our queue. Okay, oh my gosh, there's more people coming into the left. Lots of folks that are crowding the lightning lane. I can't even get through like those other guests couldn't.
Can I check your time real quick?
Pardon me, guys. All right, let's see. I wonder how long it's going to take them to get through. I'm tempted to go find out, but if we get another situation like we had the last 2 times through Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run where we just poked our head in and turned right back around and said, no thank you. But I do have experiences in the past where I have walked into a standby queue that looked empty. I didn't see a single guest until we got to the windows, you know, the second floor windows up there where you could look down on the Millennium Falcon, and yet the posted wait time was 75 minutes. That is not going to happen today. There is another long queue ahead of us there in standby, but I want to go see how far back that goes. Well, I can't put eyes on Lightning Lane yet, but that is an absolutely disastrous looking standby queue. These guests are probably going to be seeing most or all of those 75 minutes, especially if I can put eyes on the Lightning Lane queue, which is just on the other side of these guests here, which I can see vaguely, and it's not that bad. So at the ramp, I don't know if you can't see it as well as I can, but through that gap right there, that's the back of the, the back of the queue now is here. Yeah, there's the family that we just saw coming in. They've got a ways to go. That queue is probably going to be, I'm going to guess 10 minutes to get to the Hondo room, and then 10 or 15 minutes to get through the ride as well. So we would see them come out of here in about 30 minutes. These guys are pooched. All these guys, man. I'm sorry. I feel for you. I wouldn't do it. So let's get back to that original quest, that question we had. Disney says that this is the busiest 2-week period of the entire year. They believe that so much that they're even going to tell Magic Keys not to come in. We got this without you. We don't need you Magic Keys for this 2-week stretch. If you want to come in, you got to pay your $206. Are they right? Is this stretch of the year? Now, I'm not saying this is going to be true for the entire year, but there could be points in the calendar where Disney could rely just on demand alone. Just, at any price, at the max price, at $206.
So you're set in lunch?
I mean, I kind of think they are right. I kind of think that they are right. We made a similar observation last year, I think, and I thought, oh my gosh, this can't be good for the rest of the year. But then they come back down. There are times in the year when Disney really, really needs those, the annual pass holders, because the folks that are here, I've already talked to a few families. They're not here every couple months. They're not here every couple weeks. They're here once a year. Matter of fact, I talked to one, this is the only time. They haven't been to Christmas ever. So, people are choosing it, and that's really all they need. Disney doesn't need, and you want to, the instinct is to make it about class, but I don't think that's it either. I think that they don't need a lot of people to make that choice. They just need enough to, there's enough demand for that 2-week stretch where they can do this. And then in January, when the prices are down to $106 or $104, I don't know. Then we'll see, if that's a Magic Key period, or if it's the period where they're looking for a discount. But people want to speak. That's really the nature of free markets and supply and demand. They are arriving at an equilibrium. And again, this is something that we talked about 2 weeks ago and episodes prior to that. It used to be that I thought, I'm going to get myself back in frame here, it used to be that I thought that there was no upper limit, that Disney could just keep raising prices and we would just keep showing up. And to a point that's true, especially when it comes to Magic Keys. But I think they're getting closer to that equilibrium where more people are saying no. And they're just getting there. They're just getting to that equilibrium. Whereas before, with the price increases, they were just cramming the parks. Like 2018, 2019 even, it was still, man, buying a ticket and buying an annual pass at that time was an incredible value, which is why I was not shocked in the least when Disney changed the annual pass program post-COVID. Those 2018, 2019 years, incredible value. And so they're just getting to that point now where they are achieving some sort of supply and demand equilibrium. Market economies, it's squaring off. And we have arrived at Fantasyland. And nothing here to suggest that we should expect anything different than what we found in the first half of this show. Fantasyland seems kind of busy right now. Yeah, it's definitely feeling very intense. Well, it's not the worst queue I've ever seen for Pinocchio. I'd get in that for sure. That's an absolute go for me right now, especially considering how the rest of the park looks. Same for Snow White. Wow. Man, we could be through that in 10 minutes. It's showing 20. Or is it showing closed? Oh, that's what it is. That's why that queue looks so light. He's telling people it's closed. There's people in the queue. They're kind of just, I don't know why you would want to ride out Snow White, I'm not sure. But yeah, the attraction is closed. And you can hear no music coming out of Snow White. But I'm curious, like, what? I can't figure it. Here's Peter Pan. All those guests that should be, or that are in Snow White, should be in this queue right now, or Toads, or Pinocchio, or something. This is a much more lengthy queue than we found when we did our test two weeks ago. It took 35 minutes, I want to say, 35. But this outer chain wasn't being used. And these four right here were also empty when we got in the queue. So that's a good 7 or 8 minutes right there at least, right? Maybe 6 to 8 minutes. So add that on to that 35 we had before, add another 10 minutes. And that's looking like a 45-minute queue to me right here. Meanwhile, it's posted 30. He's gonna get there right there. He's like, yeah, I don't think so. No, it's 40. Okay, so that's definitely closer to 40 than it is. That was fantastic. He just did that right in the frame. He probably saw me coming. I kid, but I have seen it happen. I remember, I think it was Mission Breakout. The cast member knew me and he saw me come and he's getting on the bike. He's like, Fresh Baked is here. He was joking. It was funny, but he was playing into it a little bit. But it's real. It's a thing. They see me coming. They're like, check the wait for. But I kid, of course, as well. I love cast members, and they do amazing work here. I'm not trying to say that they're not on it or anything like that. They are absolutely on it. The proof is right there. He was absolutely on it, fixing it. So much respect to that gentleman and all cast members who employ or who work these queues. They are very good at their job. This queue is posted at 20 minutes. That's probably on the low side. They're out here into they've had to makeshift ropes up. That means it's probably not 20 minutes. It's probably closer to 30, which is amazing for Toads. I love the idea of waiting 30 minutes for Toads. I think that's great. Let's see, Dumbo. Liz and I were here with Sophia last week. It was just a personal day. We weren't shooting anything, but we were doing recon. We were making notes. That's showing a posted wait time of 30 minutes. We're going to go back here. I'm going to tell you verbally what we found if I can. Although it looks like we've already found the back of the queue. My gosh. Or people just posted. Oh no. Back of the queue's right here. Achtung, Liebensein. My goodness. So maybe I can't show you what we learned on that effort, because it was the queue was about half as busy as it is right now. It's not 30 minutes though, I don't think. It's not a lot more, but it's a little more than that 30. But we're gonna go check out where the back of the queue is real quick. Wow, wow, wow! They are just using the whole thing, all of it. Okay, so when we got in the queue, I can show you a little bit. I want to say the back of the queue is right here, at the end of where the organ is, and we timed that section right there. Well, I should say we didn't time it. We counted the guests. This is a rotation attraction, so you want to count guests as opposed to time it. But that section from the organ to the mix point up here, where they put you in your little numbers, 75 guests or thereabouts, and then you figure there's 16 Dumbos, 32 guests per rotation, so that was 3 rotations, 5 minutes per rotation, maybe 4. So from there to getting under number is about 12 to 15 minutes. There you go. Now I gotta figure out the rest. I gotta figure out all this extended part back here. I gotta time all that, count the guests on that one. I mean, it's more complicated, but that's a scenario that you'll often run into at Dumbo. So if you just wanna know, because there's no lightning lane, so you can just count guests, eyeball it, and say, hey, that's 3 rotations, times 4, times 5. You know, depending on how long it varies, because sometimes it takes a little bit longer than on one trip to get the guests in and out. But we measured 4 rotations, and each one was between 4 minutes and 4 minutes and 45 seconds. So if you want to err on the high side, you call 5 minutes, 3 rotations, 15 minutes. Boom, you're done. And now, let's see what time is it? It's 3. Gosh. You guys, we've even been doing all this during a parade time frame. It's 3:12 in the afternoon now. I mean, the parade is over, so people are back in the queues. But an hour ago, it wasn't. And an hour ago, we saw some pretty healthy queues. That means it's even worse now. And I'm actually just sort of kind of casually making my way through this stretch of Fantasyland, because it is just dense as heck right here. And we're gonna check out Mad Tea Party, and then we're gonna go to the right and check out Alice, and then I wanna continue this conversation about, supply and demand, and this not having magic keys here and what that means. And there's the back of it. Oh, they've got to curl this round. Everybody, curl to the left. Everybody, come on, you can do it. You got to curl that thing. You're blocking traffic. Let's go. That's a pretty big queue from Mad Tea Party, but it's still, even if it's poking up there, but they need to open up this section right here, perhaps, which they hardly ever do, it seems. But you're looking at about 4 rotations there, 3.5, 4 minutes on that, so 15, 20 minutes. That's what I love about Fantasyland, is that even on the busiest days like this, even when it looks, oh my God, that's so terrible, it's still just 20 minutes. Like, I could do that. I would spend all of my time on the busiest days. I can make the easiest video ever. What do you do when it's too busy at Disneyland? You go to Fantasyland and you ride a bunch of dark rides and you enjoy yourself, and then you get a churro. Alice, we saw 40 on the tip board. That's what it says still. Haven't seen the back of the queue yet. It's in here somewhere. Hi guys. We'll find it someday. The Rainbow Connection. There it is. That's the back of the queue right there. The Cheshire Cat is the back of the queue. This stretch right here is just 5 minutes. It looks worse than it is. Again, it's even on the worst day, you're like, I could do that. I could do that, no problem. It's the lightning lane attractions that are gonna make you want to pull your hair straight out of your head. You get in that queue with a Matterhorn, you're like, hey, it says 45 minutes. Good luck. Good luck. You never can tell. You show up one of these days and there's 100 people in the lightning lane queue. And yeah, your experience is gonna take a hit, for sure. Hey, how are you? Hi. Hi guys. Wow. Okay, so I'm trying to find, this is the back. Oh, it is. They're entering from here? Oh, that's new. That's different. So it's crawling around here. Back of Storybook Land is right here through Bubble Town, which I love bubbles in my frame. Thank you very much, whoever's doing that. That is groovy, man. But that's curious, because if it keeps building, I would rather send the queue that way. I would rather send the queue towards Small World, but the back of the queue is going in this direction now. If it grew, it would go here. That can't be what they're trying to do. Are they trying to fix it right now? Yeah, see, look, there he goes. He's doing it. Wow, look at this. I'm talking about cast members, right? They see a situation, they're like, this is not ideal. This is not what I want. I want something else. And so he's on it. He's curling the queue. We got to send him over to Mad Tea Party. He's curling the queue so they can do just that, so they can send it back towards It's a Small World. Disney, you're the best. You guys, operationally, good job, man. I love you guys. Hats off. Way to go. I love it. All right, so let's talk about some more of that conversation. Just look for a moment at this sea of guests flowing into and out of this part of Fantasyland, Fantasyland B, Small World, Fantasyland. Look how busy and hectic things are. Look at the positive energies that are flowing out of this crowd, and the feelings that people have, and how much fun they're having, including myself. And then remember that it is desirous of some folks, some pundits, people who want to comment on the state of Disney parks today, and they want to tell guests to speak with their wallet. You gotta make demands of the Disney company. We're not happy with how Disney's going, and we should be communicating that with our attendance in the parks, and we're not going to buy food or merch or buy tickets to the park. That is something that has been expressed by lots of people. And I will say, in answer to that, looking at what we're seeing here in Fantasyland, they are speaking with their wallet. And what they're saying is they want to go to Disneyland. That they're okay with $206 today. They're okay with what's happening in the parks, that this is a good place to be, that this is a good use of their finances, and they want to make this choice to come to Disneyland on this day, that's 2 days prior to Christmas. And again, I'm not saying that they're going to say that all year. I'm not saying that they're going to say that in January. Certainly there's going to be a different comment made, but then again, there's going to be, 3 weeks? Well, I don't know about 3 weeks. There's going to be a good 10 days or so in January where the price of the ticket is going to be $100, which is the same price. I know people don't want to hear this. It's the same price that the bottom ticket was like 6 or 7 years ago. Look it up, it's true. Now, the high end has gone up astronomically, and there's not a whole lot of days. They did add a few days actually to that zero tier. It does still exist, and it is still the same price. They have not raised the bottom price in a solid 7 or 8 years. I'm just saying, I'm putting that out there. But I think that people are kind of speaking with their wallets. And I've said this in the past. I've done a bunch of State of Disneyland reports, and a lot of those reports are like, where is everybody? The parks are slow. But it's taken me this long to sort of come around to the idea that this was by design. That this is an effect of, they raise the prices, the crowds are going to come down, for sure. But there's going to be, Disney's not trying to make all the money all the time. Well, maybe they are, I don't know. But they don't have to, right? It's like Black Friday in retail. They make most of their money during these stretches like this, and there goes I guess what I'm saying is, I may have given up on trying to second guess Disney and saying, is this really what they want? I think the answer is yes. Because this is the same situation now, 3 years running. You can't call it can you? Can you say Disney's got their head ups or whatever, but they'll figure it out and next year we're gonna see a change? I don't think so. This is what they want. And I think the people are expressing themselves and saying, this is where we want to be. It's a vocal minority maybe that's getting that are most upset about it, which I get, because I'm one of them. I'm way too close. I am way too close on some of these issues. But Disney's not trying to build this park around me. I'm not their ideal guest. I am not their ideal customer. Absolutely am I not. It's the average guest. That's the ideal customer. And I think they may have found that equilibrium. That's getting back to that other point I was making. By the way, 15 minutes. I said that was going to double when the sun went down. It's almost there. It's almost achieved that. We were at 30 minutes before. It's at 50 now. They're using almost all the queue back here. 50 minutes. That's about right. Actually, it'll be almost all of that, even with Lightning Lane and everything. And the lights aren't even on yet. Amazing. People love Small World during the holidays. I don't blame them. I love Small World Holiday. I love it so much. It's the best. I'm getting kind of nervous now about taking it to the next location here. Toontown. It sounds ominous, doesn't it? That bell indicates that it is 3:30 as we approach Toontown. Hi. Wow. I don't know, man. This is going to be rough. Whew. Okay. We'll start at Roger Rabbit eventually. There's a lot of people in here, man. Whew. Okay. This might be very much like every other visit we've made to Roger Rabbit in the past couple of months. That's a posted 60-minute wait time. I'm expecting to find the back of the queue right around this corner. Oh. Okay. We've gotten to the club. Wow, we're at the club? Oh, there it is. We made it to the call board just prior to the prop room. Prop room right there. Okay. Well, my bad. Yeah, 60 minutes is a true story here at Roger Rabbit. My goodness. Well, that's not bad looking so far for a runaway railway. Most queues I'm good with. Most queues are a go for me here. That says 35 minutes on the board. Generally 45, 50 to the door right here. Anything outside of that is 45, 50 plus. And there's we've reached, okay, so the back of this is longer than usual. It's still just 35 because this is the most efficient ride system in creation. It at least competes with Pirates and Small World. Maybe even better. I'm gonna have to do some serious science on that to find out. But that's the back of the queue. These guys are fine. It looks disadvantageous. It looks like the kind of queue you don't want to get into, but if you know Runaway Railway, then you know that even that queue is okay to go. Same story here at Minnie's house. This is one of the most consistent. It's incredible how consistent Minnie's house is. Queues down to the big old gates down there, and it'll say, oh, it actually says 45 this time. We've been seeing 30 minutes typically. Oh, they're taking her picture right here at the door. You're not even they closed the house. Oh, that's too bad. You can't even go in the house. That's not 45 minutes then, because this will be considerably quicker. These pictures, this little scenario here, you get less engagement, less banter back and forth. It's pretty much picture, picture, picture. You get a little bit more engagement when she's in the house or back there with her tea party. Mickey and Minnie, or Mickey's meet and greet is 30 minutes. Oh, pardon. And Chippendale's Gadget. I just did it. I called it Chippendale's Gadget Coaster. I hate myself now. Gadget's Go Coaster is posted at 30. That's the longest 30 I've ever seen. They need to check their math. Oh look, they're doing they've opened it up. They're doing a Daisy meet and greet here instead of turning on the water, which they may never again. That's just my feeling. They may never turn that water on again. It could be a done deal. But the back of the queue is almost at the second tree there. That ain't 30 minutes. I have forgotten the math on this. This is why I need to write it down and put it on a downloadable digital guide so I don't have to remember. But this is a long 30 minutes. Seriously though, this park is busy. Toontown's busy, Fantasyland's busy, and I'm sure where we're headed next, although we gotta finish Fantasyland with Matterhorn, but I'm sure when we get to Tomorrowland, that's gonna be busy too. Here goes the monorail. Here comes the Matterhorn. That says 70 minutes right there on the board, and that is almost pure standby. I mean, there is Lightning Lane, but this is standard. This is just kind of typical, maybe even light-ish for Lightning Lane, especially for this time of day. It's standby. We're left, and it's all that. They're not out of the threshold yet, at least. That's good. But probably because they're out there in extended 1, 2, and 3, maybe more. But that is a full use queue right now. Tree lamp. Oh, 70 minutes. Work at the back of the queue. This ain't 70 minutes. Or maybe, I don't know. The back of the queue for this 70-minute queue, considering that Lightning Lane, would have to be probably to the far back side of the mountain, past extended 3. That's extended 1 right here, this tree. That tree right there. This lamp right here, that's extended 2. And yeah, they're at extended 3. I don't know if that's 70 minutes, you guys. I really don't. I mean, it's not a walk-on, and I'm smelling a whole bunch of cotton candy right now. It's making me crazy. It's not a walk-on, and it is probably going to still be something in the 50 to 60 minute range, and that's all dependent upon Lightning Lane, of course, which you can't observe once you get in this queue. You're like, okay, I can't see. But if I were just trying to beat the queue, if I were just trying to beat the time that's on there, I mean, that's not 70, that's 50, 55, but it is busy. That's affirmative. Nothing has dissuaded me from that at this point. Across the way, I can already see the Finding Nemo queue is using all of that space. Let's get over there. Let's find out. I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about, and then we're going to call it. Yeah, see that? They're using almost all of it there for Nemo. That is an impressive queue for Finding Nemo right there. That's got to be 45 minutes at least. Wow. Wow, when's the last time we've seen this? Huh? When's the last time we've seen a queue like that at Finding Nemo? It's been a while. Post that says 40. They're being saved by loading both sides, obviously. Yeah, I don't need to see any more. I'm good. We got Autopia, we got Space Mountain to go, Big Thunder, but I don't need to see any more. This is probably top 5. Top 5 busiest days I've seen this year. It took us all to get, we had to get all the way to December 23rd. We had to get all the way here to find it. And I would be willing to bet that tomorrow is going to be like this, and Christmas Day. Christmas Day is almost sold out. So we won't be here that day, but I would watch and see what happens. But it will happen. Top 5 busiest days of the year, and that answers the question: is Disney right? Can they afford to exclude Magic Keys, not depend on them, and rely completely on single-day ticket holders? Yep, they sure can. Yep, and then some. Even attractions like Autopia, which are often pure walk-ons, that says 30 minutes. But what I'm going to show you here is going to Look at that. They're using they're at the top riser, you guys. They're top of the ropes up there. They're using all of this queue. These guests coming up the ramp right here, they're gonna find the back of the queue before crossing through the mix point. Yeah, see that? We're gonna watch them stop. That is a thing you never see at Autopia. There it is, they just hit the back of the queue. You never see guests find the back of the queue before even making that left. Wow, even Autopia. Incredible. They are running all 4 lanes. Yep, 1, 2, 3, and 4. All 4 are going, so that's not it. It's just darn busy. Check it out. It's even so bad that they're holding standby here at the threshold. Hey guys, that's because Lightning Lane can't mix. If you have a Lightning Lane pass, you can go through, right? Oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever seen this before. It has just occurred to me. When I was leaving, I'm like, why is she chaining that up? Why won't she stand by in there? Because Lightning Lane can't mix. If you're Lightning Lane, you're using the same path as standby right here. You don't get, until you get to that umbrella over there, that's where you mix. But if you're Lightning Lane, what are you gonna do? Say, pardon me, excuse me, and you know, make your way through there because you're special and you've got a Lightning Lane pass and I don't have to wait for you guys? Like, there will be some to do that, but most people aren't gonna do that. They're not gonna do the pardon me, excuse me. So they have to they have to send the standby queue down. Oh my gosh, it's incredible. I haven't seen something like that in I don't even know how long, man. That's incredible. Lightning Lane can't mix. That's at Autopia. They can't get Lightning Lane to mix. Look at this. I mean, now that I think about it, I have seen the queue down here before. It's very rare. But look at this now, standby. Wait, standby is out the threshold and it's about to escape into the common area of Tomorrowland. What do they do next? What do they do? It's gonna keep growing. Back of the queue is right here now. And I can see up there. It's a little far for this camera, but they're still on that stretch right there where they can't mix Lightning Lane and standby. What do they do? That's the exit. They can't curl them that way. You need to get a cast member out here, create a gap, right? To create a gap so these guys can exit. And then what? Out here? I don't think it's gonna happen. People are gonna come by here and they're gonna see this queue. They're like, nah. Just like these guests. They're like, it's Autopia. What are we doing? You know, but it's one of the few discounts still. It's one of the few bargains. It's still at 30 minutes posted, but it isn't. But you see that on the tip board, like, yeah, I can do 30 minutes for Autopia. You get here, like, oh, you mean I got to stand here? Oh, no, thank you. Never mind. And that's when you go to Fantasyland. That's when you go to Fantasyland. You get in some dark rice and then you eat a churro. Tomorrowland just looks like Tomorrowland always does, doesn't it? Right? Say what you will. Busiest land in the park. In my opinion, busiest land in the park. They've got all the attractions, lots of space to put all these guests to kind of loiter around. You don't get this kind of space in New Orleans Square, and it looks like it might be closed. There's nobody out here though. They're having an issue perhaps with the post. Wait, we were here this morning riding Space Mountain. Oh, I see a group. We were here this morning attempting to rope drop Space Mountain. It didn't go very well to start, but if you didn't catch that show, the rope drop show, although I'm not sure, again, I'm sure I shoot both today, so I'm not sure which one's going to go out first. But there was some expert level stuff happening in that rope drop test. Expert level stuff. And we did manage to get on Space Mountain, but we got in here when the posted weight, the board was like that. But we still got in, but that is not the case right now. They are definitely not letting guests in. There's definite accumulation of both standby and Lightning Lane. This is one of the reasons why you don't want to be too late getting to an attraction after a breakdown. because it's not just the standby guests who are deciding they want to try to, hang out for a minute. Lightning Lane is going to do the same. You're going to get a big collection of Lightning Lane guests here, and if that happens, they will be let in first. Every single one of them. But it looks like people are bouncing. They don't want to give it a shot. Not happening. By the way, which reminds me, we should be checking in on Rise of the Resistance and Tiana's Bayou Adventure, 2 attractions that were closed when we went by earlier. Star Wars is up, Rise of the Resistance is up, but it's posted at 100 minutes. It's an hour and 40 minutes. So the people have shown up. The standby guests have definitely showed up, but so too have Lightning Lane, the people who purchased it, and I don't blame them. They're going to get all the priority, just like I was just saying for Space Mountain. But Tiana's is still closed, and if you were hoping to catch Tiana's today, boy, I sure hope you did already in that morning session. You are in for some. It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough if they do wind up opening that attraction. They're closing. I think they extended the hours, by the way. I forgot to mention this before. They've been closing Tiana's at 10 p.m. But for the rest of the holiday season, they're going to close it at midnight, like the rest of the park. And then after that, they're going to go back to 10 p.m. But they're going to get those guests in there, but it's going to be late into the evening. But that first stretch, when there's still a little bit of daylight, if they get it open, is going to be a nightmare. I would not want to be anywhere near standby between the hours of 3 and 7 today. Check that, 4 and 7. It's already 4 o'clock. So yeah, you're gonna have a rough go of it. And I'm walking through here and I hear people commiserating about all the attractions that are down. We got Space Mountain down now. Tiana's is still closed. A lot of down attractions today. As I mentioned when we opened the park, Rope Drop 5. Space Mountain was closed at Rope Drop. Big Thunder, Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and Pirates of the Caribbean. At the rope! Man, if I had paid full price, $206, and found that on my adventure, I might have... That is what I did. I did that thing. Anyway, Buzz Lightyear posted at 40. Very healthy standby queue developing here. Not a lot of Lightning Lane though, just a smattering of Lightning Lane guests there. So that's good. Let's see where this queue goes. Not bad. Not bad at all. They're not using the extended part over here. They're just going into the Pixie Hollow. As 40-minute queues go, I'd get in that. You're going to beat 40 minutes right now, the way I see it. That might be 20, 25. As long as Lightning Lane stays the way it is. Astro Orbiter, that's a go. I've been in that queue many times. Many times. That's 20, 25 minutes maybe. Star Tours. It's posted at 40. Yeah, it's full in there. Boy, they're barely getting that group in there. And it looks like they are also sending them into, I don't know what you call that, like detention. They're sending guests into Star Tours detention, but it looks like it's not a full. Oh, it is. Oh yeah, they're using all of that. I can see guests going all the way to the far side. There's some open chain here, but the far 2 lanes are being used. So you're going to spend 10 or 15 minutes in there. 40 minutes for Star Tours today. So that's it. The only 2 discounts we're going to find today is Buzz on my right and Astro Orbiter on our left. That's the last 2 discounts I think I remember seeing. Let me think back. The Millennium gosh. Autopia, no. Finding Nemo, no. Matterhorn, no. Small World, no. Oh, Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway, I would get in that queue. And then anything in Fantasyland. I'd get in any Fantasyland queue right now. Absolutely, even Peter Pan. Just relatively speaking. And then before that, Smuggler's Run, no. Rise, no. Tiana's was closed. And Winnie the Pooh, hell yeah. All day. Winnie the Pooh, let's see, I don't know, Haunted Mansion, that was bad. Oof, that was brutal. I might have to go back by there to see how that queue looks right now, but I'd be willing to bet that that's going to get into this 70, 80 minute range. And yeah, no, there's not a lot of discounts today. We got one place to go. One stop left, and that's Frontierland. I'll tell you what, you come to Frontierland, you come to Big Thunder, this is not the scene you want to find with a 4-lane switchback around Rancho if you got designs on riding Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Ay, ay, ay. The rest ain't bad though. Posted 55, which is high for Big Thunder, no doubt. But as far as queues go, I mean, they are using those 4 switchbacks back there, but at least they're not using this. So this isn't the worst situation I've ever found at Big Thunder. It'll probably be closer to 40 or 45 minutes is my guess, which as queues go today, on this day, that's a bit of a discount, man, if you ask me. For Big Thunder, hell yeah. Great queue, great ride, you're gonna have fun. Yeah, it's worth it. Long story short today, yeah, I think that answer's pretty clear. At least for this 10-day stretch or this 2-week stretch, Disney doesn't need us Magic Keys so much. As a matter of fact, this particular Magic Key holder needs Disney more than they need me. I mean, I think that's a fair assessment. You know, I think our Magic Key holders tend to overvalue in some ways their importance to the park. I mean, we do. I've always said we are the warder to the park, but during these times of years, man, we're just a regular guest. We're not their ideal guest at all. And you know, speaking personally, I need to be here more than they need to have me here. They'd be fine without me, I'm sure. So we'll leave it at that. It was a great show today. I had a great time at the park. Glad I did. Glad I went ahead and got that ticket and was able to bring this show to you guys that I do hope you enjoyed. If you like this show and want to show you support, please do consider joining our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/freshbaked. Follow us on Instagram at _freshbaked, on TikTok, or I'm sorry, on Twitter at freshbakedisney. Hi guys. And on TikTok at freshbakedisney. Don't forget to join our newsletter. There's a link in the description for that as well. And don't forget to use our travel partner, GetAwayToday. If what you're seeing, for example, like and hearing this wonderful, beautiful Mark Twain, if you want to be on that Mark Twain, which is something that I very desperately want to do right now, is be on that Mark Twain. If you want to get here to Disneyland and make a trip around the rivers of America while still a thing, on Mark Twain, get with our travel affiliate, GetAwayToday. There's a link in the description for those guys as well. Super awesome people. We love them and they're the best. And you're going to get treated very nicely and have yourself a very memorable vacation planned for you. Otherwise, thanks for watching, everybody. We love you. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another. Fresh Baked.